I think we're live. I think we're good. It's like looking into the internet. It's not really there. What's up? Welcome to the card table. I think we're live on YouTube tonight for the first time. We'll see how this rolls. Been wanting to do this for a while, but, you know, life catches up sometimes. So kind of hoping to just, you know, keep shit together during the stream tonight. But excited to be here. We've got a lot of ground to cover. I want to talk about some things we've been working on lately. Shout out to Akira for the background music, as always. Akira the Don. Thank you for not taking my music down, your music down off of my stream. You're one of the few artists that do that. So, and you inspired me to do these things. Cheers. We're here. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Black Stack Brewing. You're not really my sponsor, but you're going to sponsor me with a double dry hopped sponge bath tonight. Cheers to all you craft beer drinkers. Cheers to anybody tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you spending time here at the card table with us. So, we're going to do 2012 Prizm. We got, I can't even keep track of the mail. I mean, it's been like a month or so. You know, like I say, life's hard sometimes. So, shout out to my old man and cheers to him. I don't want to get into it too much because I won't keep it together, but cheers. We drink craft beer here at the card table. It's no shocker. Glad to be here. All right. We got that out of the way. Let's get into, I guess, what we could call a mail day. I don't know if it's really going to end up being like that. I got to learn. I don't even know if this is like working on YouTube. So we're going to see how that works. It says chat's up here. It's probably not. Stream chat, read only. Who knows? This will be an embarrassing experiment as usual. And that's why we're rocking it out. We can talk a little bit about card kata. Some things coming up. The card table. I'm going to see if this is actually working on YouTube. Give me 1 second. Just to be completely... Yeah, I don't know. Is this how this is supposed to work? Your channel. Live. It says I'm live. Hey, look at that. No kidding. That's great. What's up, Raji? Shout out to Eads. Yeah, I got held accountable today. I meant to do the YouTube thing a little bit back. So thank you, Raji. Your accountability measures paid off. Yeah, let's go. That was not a freeze. That was just me freezing. Let's get into some mail. I'm just gonna ramble and keep going. I'm too pumped up. Let's talk. Let's get into it. I want to talk vintage baseball tonight. Sorry. I get disorganized. Get too pumped up. 2012 Prizm because I think I don't know what I'm thinking. Buy some 2012 Prizm right now. That's what I'm thinking. And then we're gonna do some vintage baseball. And when I say vintage, this is not like 1954 or any Banks, although we may look at it. We're gonna do like 80s baseball. I'm really intrigued by Bonds, Greg Maddux. I think pitchers, guys like Randy Johnson. I don't know. I just want to look at it and again share some of my thought process on some stuff. I'll show you guys always like what I'm buying. That's what I'm gonna try to do tonight. Catch up. I've got a lot of exciting cards and yeah, it'll be good. So, what up, Silent Echo? If I'm not chatting back and everything, if you guys are asking any questions, I'm still trying to figure out if it's like YouTube or on Twitch, how Streamlabs works. So bear with me. We got a learning curve, but let's get into some cards. I got some stuff back here that's really cool. the Enfuego, Dalvin. This is like one of my biggest PC ads ever right here. Pretty damn pumped about this card. This is a Matt Hughes and George St. Pierre, UFC 65, number 1 of 10s. If you see that serial back there. I still got to get a better light behind my phone camera here, but it always works better up top, right? So 1 of 10, dual auto. Very, very excited about that card. I think I got that thing at a steal too, by the way. But, you know, that's what we're always trying to do. Find valuable things and share that with you. Kevin Garnett and Outrageous, been hunting one of those down for quite a while, so excited to have that. We always got Kobe hanging out because he's the main motivational master. Mamba Monday. God, this is going to be really embarrassing to have this totally on out there on YouTube and everything at some point. But I guess that's what live is all about. We'll get better at this. We got Nick Diaz as well, signatures. We can talk a little bit about MMA. I'm always down to talk MMA. Some pretty amazing fights on ABC this last weekend. And, of course, Conor and Dustin Poirier coming up this weekend. So we'll be watching that, probably live streaming on Saturday during the Conor fight. Hanging out at the card table because we love MMA. All right, so let's get into some like mail, and I'm going to kind of use that mail to talk about what I think is an important part of the hobby right now, and that is 2012 Prizm. We're gonna talk a lot about that, but we got some other stuff, shiny stuff here. Kevin Garnett laser cut triumvirate. I don't even know what this is. It just somebody brought it up. There's like 3 different versions. Luminescent is this middle grade one, and then there's a couple other of these triumvirates, and so there's like another card that fits here and another card that fits here, but this is the KG. So like the refractor one, and I think there's like an atomic refractor one. There's one even bigger than that. So I got the iPad playing behind me. My apologies. Let's go back to the deck. We'll deal with all of that stuff. We've been doing some Pokemon, Vivid Voltage, Aegis Slash, Rainbow, Ultra Rare, Secret Rare, Secret Rare. If you're not into Pokemon yet, look at how beautiful that card is. I can't maybe get... And so, like, what I want to show is that, like, you don't have to buy Charizards to be into Pokemon. My 6 now, but, like, my 6-year-old... is learning to count, learning to read, and I wish I could show you more of the videos, but I don't like to put too much of him out there. But he whoops me in Pokemon, like legit beats me, and it's so much fun. We were learning to sort and like put cards in order all the way up to like 200 tonight, you know. But look at that card, you know, it's beautiful. And so this was like a $10 card. Like, have some fun. Anybody that's out there, go grab like a $4 Pokemon pack at Target next time. Have some fun with it. Go pick up a cool rainbow rare, secret rares. They're all over the place. So yeah, we're very far deep into Pokemon right now. with Nolan, and it's so much fun. I won tonight though. Sweet revenge. We've got, this was I think a great deal too. So like I was looking at older, like I guess 90s serial number inserts of stars, and this is basketball and football play. So this is 15 of 100. Kevin Garnett, you know, I like Kevin. Me and Kevin go way back to we're not friends at all, but definitely what's happening there, Serbia, what's happening, Dan. So good to see you. I see the multi-stream chat is actually working. Although it looks like you're coming in through Twitch. It's all good. Like I say, trying to figure it out. I wonder if I can like manage the chat box. Chat. Follower overlay chat box. No. Oh, wait. Interesting. I'm not sure if the YouTube chat's working or not. So KG, again, affordable 90s serial numbers. So I'm a Minnesota guy. I'm looking up Garnett, Randy Moss. I think things got cleaned up on Moss though recently. Got not gonna lie about that. So we got some KG. This is an of 25 game used. It's almost I think it's two color patch of 25. Picking the stuff up like dirt cheap. This came out of 2014-15 Panini Excalibur. There's a non-serial version of it as well, but game worn jersey and dunk related. I'm all about dunk and slam. Like, you put that in an insert name and I'll buy it. It's fine. But that's a great card. Thick, juicy. Again, I think it was like 25. I went on a Malcolm Brogdon buying spree. This is just what's in so far. Prizm Silver rookie, Mosaic. This dude's in the top 10 PER this year. I think he's a solid player. Undervalued, I guess. I don't know. Don't take my advice. Just want to be honest with what I've been buying and having fun doing lately while I've been away for a bit. So let's get into 2012 Prizm, because I think this is more like my legitimate one of my goals for the year, I guess you could say, because I wasn't collecting in 2012, and you know, dude, Moss prices are way down. Yes, let's talk more about Moss in a minute. But Durant, so I'm just trying to buy Hall of Famers, basically, in 2012 Prizms. Some of the baseball stuff, like the baseball, obviously it doesn't have the licensing, so it's a little, you know. But, like, there's still good photography. And there's just, we can look at some of the pop reports, but I was astonished how little 2012 Prizm there is. And I watched Nat Turner open up a box, and he was just talking about it, and he's like, you know, pretty soon every one of these cards is going to be able to be graded. And so you're going to have to do the homework, and you have to do the work. You're going to have to find the players. But, like, I think there's significant, like, I can't see 2012 Prizm going down at this point. And so I need to snap some up while it's still out there. I mean, even like a base LeBron is 300 now. Kobe's 200. I got a Kobe the other day. I was so excited. It's just like an SGC 8.5, but like, hey, it's good. Like, got it cheaper than raw, so I'll take that deal any day. Yeah, guys, look at 2012 Prizm, and we can look at some of like the pop reports tonight, so we can dive into that a little bit further. But here's what I've scooped up so far: a little Aaron Rodgers, Nolan Ryan, Silver, Joe Mauer, Durant. If you look at the multiple on like a Durant, I got a 2-card lot, but the multiple on Durant's a true 10x to a PSA 10, and like a nice 3x to a PSA 9 right now. So do the work, find the right cards and what they look like. Trust your, sellers. Hopefully the surfaces are nice, that type of thing. But 2012 Prizm. Enough of my cards. We want to talk a little bit about Moss. Yeah, we need to look at Moss. Let me get out the old Safari. All right, so let's do Moss first, and there we go. All right, we're gonna. This will work. 2012 Baseball USA. Is that Prizm Baseball, or is it like? Tell me more. 98 Moss Topps Chrome. So, sorry, I gotta turn that off. All right. So Moss's, come on, there we go. Holding flat. What are we sitting there? 3 months. But this is the 9. Like, the 9 was up at 300. It's sitting around 100. I've seen prices even like 75, 80. Prizm set. Yeah. Well, look at that. I don't know. I saw a Prizm set of 2012 Prizm Baseball for $260. Like, That just seems like that's cheaper than a box. I saw a box for 800. Insert set with the USA uniform. Ooh, I'm all about that inserts. So we'll take a peek at that here. Never know what might happen. Moss PSA 9, sitting plateaued. He goes into the Hall of Fame next year. The PSA 10, this is the Chrome, by the way. So 1,700 of those on the Pop Report using the card ladder. Yeah, like that was up around 1,200 in August. Comes back down. I mean, there's still buys happening in here. So, I don't know. I think it's a fair value, probably like $600 card. I can't explain the giant mountain, right? Like, that's just FOMO and a bunch of other stuff happening. But at the end of the day, that 470, the same thing happened, honestly, with Peyton. We were looking at that recently, too, where it's like, what? For a pop 1,700 card of the best receiver, well, I think he's the best receiver ever. And he had the best touchdown celebration. Nobody can deny that against the Packers. Even though Packer fans, they get salty. Whatever. Take a hike. There needs to be a card made of that. When was that dip? October, really? Yeah. After week 2. Did something happen in week 2 in particular? Let's go. Peyton. Because I think the same thing. Yeah. Like the bottom of it is in that 10-4, 10-20 range. But see, Peyton's climbing back up, rightfully so. Even though it's, a $3,000 card. So people just ran away from football. That's right. People just ran away from football after week 2. Like, nope. That's right. Even the best stars can get hurt. We're done with this. The risk is too much. Although I sold some Saquon after that. Like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with football. I don't want to project. Like, I just think that there's, generally speaking, probably some buying opportunities that remain in the football category. As you see, like, Peyton's going back up here. Let's do, here's one that I was looking at. Shout out to my man, Bryce, for spotting the A-Raj. Good Lord. Let's look at a little bit narrower term. Yeah, even in the last month. 600 to 1,000. I mean, if Rodgers wins the MVP, wins a Super Bowl, that's a $2,000 card. So just doing that homework, doing that grind. I know it sounds like repetitive, but that's what we're here to do. And I'm always willing to do, like, now that I'm back and trying to do this damn thing, holding my shit together here. We want to do that, like, live Q&A always, where we can look cards up together and share information. I'll be doing it nonetheless. So we got Rodgers. We were talking about Drew Brees. What's happening with Brees? It's interesting. We're way off from 2012 Prizm already. This is excellent. I love sticking to the agenda. Tops? Drew Brees is tops? Goes, damn. Pop 411. Is there not? There's got to be a Chrome. How much is this Chrome? Shout out to the folks at Card Ladder. Maybe there's not a Chrome in here, at least in Card Ladder. No Chrome. So what's Manning tops? We just want a tops Peyton. 1998 tops. No Chrome. 1,400. Drew Brees is going for more than Peyton Manning? I don't know. I don't like Drew Brees. He's a saint. Only the Bowman Chrome that year, huh? Very interesting. Okay, cool. I know this is like a really limited search, but I want to get over to 2012 Prizm. And, well, we can start with probably like the headliner, right? Let's go with the Russell Wilson collapse. Because this is the probably, yeah. Oof. Dang. Like, not a good. Breeze has no chrome. Oh, sure. And Pop 411 on that. Just base tops, too. Oh, that one hurts. I didn't buy Breeze a few months ago, like March-ish, because I don't like him. But yeah, they were going for like $10. Those tops. So that's cool. Whatever. It is what it is. There'll be another Drew Brees. Or not. We've got the 2012 Russell Prizm. 2,500 peak. This is on so the end of September. Peak MVP hype. And now 805. Not a good look. Not a good look. He's not that bad though. Like, come on. But I like to look at the arc here and, like, again, skim the fat. Like, it's probably fair valued around 1,000. It's a dip now. It's gonna bottom out at some point. Russell Wilson's a fantastic quarterback. He's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't think anybody can deny that. It's got a pop of 342, very limited. Seminal 2012 Prizm set. I think this card is just. It's $1,000 card, $1,200 card, not a $2,500 card. So this is hype. Cut it out of there. Russell Wilson will be back. But that's kind of the headline card. What I want to look further down the pipeline at is some of the other action around. Let's look at Aaron Rodgers. I think they have him in here. Yeah. 2012 Prizm base PSA 10. This is where I think there's money to be made. Ooh, look at that chart, right? Now it's Rodgers. I'm cherry picking a little bit here, but I'll just tell you that these base cards, Pop 30, these are available right now for $30 out there on eBay. Find the right card. Not everything's going to 10, obviously. Not saying go flock to it, but it is what it is. I think that there's very limited amounts. Yeah, there you go. Here's the base raw. I don't have to make this up. I guess Card Ladder will do that work for me. So I think those opportunities exist across true 10x multiples in 2012 Prizm football right now. And you can still find sets like, look, I don't know if they got Peyton. No. Peyton's not good enough. Do they have Drew Brees? No. Who else are they going to have? What's a Tannehill? Good call. That's kind of ridiculous. Pop 26. Really? Yeah. Nice call. That's an absolute steal. Dang. Huh. Yeah, you got me thinking hard on that one already. Pop 26. I know who I was going to look up. I was going to look at Tom Brady. The guy playing against Aaron Rodgers next week, of course. Who am I? No. I'm interested. Well, let's check it out. Let's buy it. Let's buy it now on eBay. Yeah. $271. That seems remarkably low. Just nobody's selling that right now. Dang. Well, 2012 Prizm for the win, right? So the one I and this is, look back at some of the episodes from over a month ago, but I snapped one of these up, full face value. It was a 9. So, like, I think I paid 75. See, pop 153. I paid $75 for a 9. It popped a little bit here in the last month. Not really, just stayed flat. That's the 9. These are really hard to 10. 600 on a Brady. But again, you can buy the raw stuff. Granted, scratches. People, like it was 2012 Prizm. Like you heard Dan Serbia talking about last time on the card table. Like it was Panini. They were a sticker company. Like nobody thought that it was going to be 2012 Prizm. But I really, like, my soliloquy, I guess, is this. Looking at the population reports of the top stars, and we can look at basketball too, because I think it's the same thing. That's why I picked up some Kevin Durant. It's 10x multiple to a PSA 10, and the population is so tiny, so tiny. We're used to like thousands, and this is like some sort of normal thing. Like even like baseball card rookies, you know, there's 14,000 PSA 10 Fernando Tatises. But if you look at the populations on Kevin, let's just look up Kevin. Maybe he's not in there. Nope, he's not in there. Let's go LeBron. My assumption being every 2012 Prizm possible of LeBron has been graded, and there is 411. So, granted, it's 1,475, but they've been sitting in the box, yeah. Especially the football stuff. I think that's a challenge there to be had. I've been happy with what I've got so far, but definitely been very choosy. Maybe asked for a few more pictures, show the surface, but definitely some of the Prizm stuff and has just been football in particular, baseball too. So these are like 200-300 raw right now, but like I don't know. That's really hard for a. Okay, there we go. That's what I was trying to show. Off peak. So what I think is happening with LeBron now is this. If you look at, and we'll go glance at LeBron just to show his rookie card is going insane. His 2003 Topps Chrome PSA 10. Yeah, I think there's one going for like 30K. It's gonna break 30K here soon. His and it was down around 10 in October. So with like the sale of the mantle, and that was a fantastic podcast episode on Lucas Tigers and Bronze, by the way, with the guy that bought the Mickey Mantle. I think there's this fine art movement coming in. There's Chris Brown buying cards. Like this is a Pop 2000 card going for 25-30K. That's what I'm getting at is there's going to be cards that have to like follow that, because now that card's inaccessible for so many people. And Andrew Goldberg was talking about the 2008 Topps Chalk Clap being like the next LeBron card. And I have to think that, like, I think 2012 Prizm, and this is a big leap to say, but I think 2012 Prizm is like the next 1952 Topps, the next 1986 basketball, Fleer basketball, that is. The next 1989, maybe it's the next 1989 Upper Deck baseball. Either which way, I think the 2012 Prizm sets are some paradigm shift in the hobby that people are like in 20 years, like my kids are going to look back at 2012 Prizm and be like, those are the vintage cards we need to collect, because there's just not a ton of them around. So that's my thesis. That's my 2012 Prizm thesis. Turned down a PSA 9 for a 9.5 silver Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. You were giving up the Donovan. That's a little rough, but you know, manageable. Manageable looking back, I hope. I'm gonna check out the YouTube here, see if that's still functioning. Probably not. I'd be very surprised if it is. It actually is still functioning. This is wonderful. Software is working tonight. Thank you. Grateful to the gods. Pop 166 on the Topps Chrome Chalk. Well, looks like somebody beat us to the punch, but the PSA 9 Chrome LeBron. I don't know. I mean, LeBron is, love him or hate him. Love him or hate him. He's up there with the GOAT, the Mamba, and the King, right? There's space for all three of them. So the LeBron chalk clap is what Andrew Goldberg was saying. This was at $6.95, now up to $16.25. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty seminal card. That looks like crap in chrome, by the way. I like I like the paper stuff, right? Like, look how much better that looks. You can actually see the chalk clap. I'm just saying, paper products have better pictures than the chrome products. So buy what you want to buy, like what you want to like. That's the beautiful thing about the hobby. Cool. Yeah, the chrome is definitely the, preferred version from a market standpoint. That's what I want to be sure I'm clear about. Like, you never know, but Pop 224, even on the tops. So that's a cool card to check out. I think we beat the 2012 Prizm bandwagon. I don't know. We can look at more like, just go look at the 2012 Prizm stuff. I mean, there's Damian Lillard, there's Kawhi, there's Anthony Davis. The basketball thing is just such a rabbit hole that I don't really want to go down that today. And I think that's maybe a little, like, you're gonna have to really be opportunistic in that. Maybe Steph Curry is an option. I'm not sure. Bradley Beal. Yeah, Stephen Beal, 693, Pop 425. I mean, that tells a story right there. Even Bradley Beal's 2012 Prizm. Look at that. So, obviously, I'm late to the game. It's kind of like a no-brainer. But I think people maybe forgotten that with the god-awful amounts of money they have to spend on the modern-day stuff. So, just for sanity's sake, I want to jump over and show you a... let's go... We can go Luka. We can go Zion. Let's go Zion. Let's go Zion. And look at the population report in comparison. Just so everybody sees this. I rest my case. When you have the top stars with populations in the middle to low hundreds, and you've got Zions out there with 15,000, 2012 Prizm. End thesis for tonight. Okay. Let's talk some vintage John Wall. Ooh. Dude, we're not looking at James Harden. No. We're not looking at James Harden. I appreciate that, but no. he's like Karl Malone. That's it. James Harden might score a lot of buckets, but he's a dick. So Mr. John Wall, I think John Wall is really intriguing. I'd like to see him succeed down there in Houston, right? That's where he ended up. Oh, come on. They ain't even going to give John Wall a 2012 Prizm. All right, so he must have been... Oh, he's in that weird category. He's in that weird category where his rookie year was 2010. So that it was the changeover from Topps to Panini, where Panini was just putzing around, and they made Prestige and some base stuff. Donruss. So affordable, Pop 46. That's like an interesting point. I think these gap year Panini cards are really interesting too. Steph Curry's got one. Pop 46. This is probably his true. I'm guessing this is John Wall's like true rookie card now because of the lockout. Yeah. See, this is like my amnesia that I get to plead ignorance on because I was not operating within the hobby at the time, which is a blessing and a curse, but like Don Russ is a good one. Yeah, who had the Don Russ rookie? Oh, dude. Oh, Paul George. Paul George's Don Russ rookie had a big run up, yeah. Is that really? No way, it's really worth 325. That's funny though. Yeah. He did have that big spike during the playoffs. And then, dude, Paul George is not quite as bad as yeah. That's a really, really tough grade A card though. They're Pop 35. That should probably be worth more. But it's still Paul George. $100 on the 9. John Wall. I don't know if they got John Wall Donruss. Nah, it's there, but manufactured patch autos. Nice. Very nice. I want to jump over to some vintage baseball, quote unquote vintage. But before we do that, I just wanted to give a shout out. And if he knows I have these, he'll probably be pissed at me. But I want to preserve some of my dad's Ernie's. I bought him a 55 Ernie for his birthday this last year. And he had some of these locked up in screw downs, you know? So pulled these out the other day. This is a 63 Ernie. We've got the 56, I believe. Yeah, this is 56. So Ernie's rookie year was 54. We got the 70. The 70 like might actually be a PSA 8. I love that. Yeah, I'm gonna get all these graded. The 59, never uncentered. The 59s, and then I forget this one. It's a 58. So you had 4 years in 58. Not bad condition. We'll use that little intro with Mr. Ernie Banks to kick off some vintage, quote unquote vintage. That's actual vintage baseball. But I want to look at, I guess, like the golden era, right? The junk wax. No, really, I think it's interesting. Like, there's the true vintage, and we saw the mantle go for $5.2 million the other day, which is just, it was probably cheap. Like that mantle card for a PSA 9, it was probably cheap. It's probably worth more. So let's look though. I think there's a whole like era of overlooked cards, and I'm gonna jump to one that I think leads the pack, and that is 1989 Upper Deck Randy Johnson. So, anybody that's ever watched the game of baseball that's my age, probably younger, knows Randy Johnson. And it's a Pop 4,000 card, but we just showed Zion. It's a modern day Prizm card, 15,000 Pop. This thing's been around for 30 years. So same thing of like, I'm guessing a lot of them have been graded over the course of time. And the Griffey population is very high as well. We'll look at Griffey because we have to, because there's a great story behind it. But Randy Johnson, for $100, you can own a guy that makes birds explode, a guy that makes people change to the other side of the batter's box. This guy is an absolute freak of nature. He's amazing. He's the big unit. And that thing goes for $100, 126, let's call it. I think that's criminally undervalued. Criminally undervalued cards coming out of this era. We're going to jump over to the Griffey just because I want to show, I think, what's going on. Yeah, I heard about this, but something's going on with the Griffey rookie right now where it like doubled, 2x'd in price. So really interesting. This is one of those, like we saw those other spikes. Some investment money is coming into maybe baseball in general. And I saw something else happen this last 2 weeks where I was like, what the heck? It happened with soccer cards before, in like that August time frame. It happened with a lot of cards, but like I think there's big money moving in again and they're snapping some stuff up. So that is pretty crazy. And this is Card Ladder where they're vetting these transactions, by the way, too. So I'm not just looking at eBay comps. We can go there too. That's why I try to avoid that when I'm streaming because it gets complicated, but it's pretty wild. So Griffey PSA 10, leader of the block. That's what I want to show because the rest of this stuff could follow. Could follow. Allegedly. Who knows? Talk about a beautiful card. Thank you. Tops Traded. That card is gorgeous. And it's really, I was going to say really hard to grade, but there's 12,000 of them. But, I mean, that's like currency there. Solid. Little bit up here. 155. 200% over last year. Let's go 3 months. There's some movement there. 30% in the last 3 months. So there's some activity on his Tops Traded. But again, talk about affordable. You can have an amazing photograph, Griffey rookie, for $150. These are the cards that I think, and maybe I'm biased because I'm not like some like printing money, not out there big balling, but I think these are the cards that are entry level, great cards, something people would be like, I have a PSA 10 Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, and coming in behind, I think, relevant to what we're seeing with his upper deck then is like, no way this card sits at 155. So I think that there's just pick up there. There's good value. Tops Tiffany. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if they've got that sitting around in here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Tiffany. 325. Oh, God. That's in like 3,000. Whoa. Huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if the investment companies, if I'm sitting there and I'm like a hedge fund owner, right? I'm looking at things that are pop hundreds and I'm snapping them up because there's always 100 fans or 1,000 fans, right, of some of these major stars. So if there's cards like under pop 1,000, that's what I think those investment companies are going to, hedge funds, and they're talking about different like equities being established based on certain cards. Very intriguing. That's really I don't know, that's a whole rat's nest of equities and stuff. Man, that would be such a bummer if they started to like regulate sports cards by the SEC because there's some like equities and derivatives and stuff based on futures. Like, don't mess this up. Let's keep it simple. Starstock is complicated enough. So we got the 1989. So this is the one that I was watching the other day. That was Griffey. Griffey's the like market leader of this era. But I was looking at not the Donruss. There we go. Yeah. eBay is a 1987 Donruss Greg Maddux wasteland right now. I watched, there was, it's Pop 2000, top 10 pitcher of all time. And there was a lot of them, and then they were all gone. And now I think the only PSA 10 out there is 250. And these are cards that were going for like 170, 160 a few weeks ago. I'm like, so I watched this 170, 220, and the ones remaining are like 250. I mean, again, $200, top 10 pitcher of all time, Greg Maddux. So I just think this is a great card in general, because if you compare it, let's go Pop 2000. We were looking at this a couple weeks ago, but Clayton Kershaw, was it 2008? So his PSA 10 is Pop 895. Yeah, it's probably fair. 4X. Let's go. Kershaw is probably the most comparable to Maddux right now. I want to look at. I wonder if this guy's in here. Nice. Kurt Schilling was a 1989 rookie. We got to do some card archaeology. I had no idea. Really? Huh. Pop 1200. $165. Dang. I gotta go digging through some 89 Donruss for the Kurt Schilling. I think I got a factory set. I got a factory set sitting right behind me. 3 or 4 of them at home, at my parents' house, that's for sure. Huh. Well, I'll be damned. 165. Back to the point at hand. 1200. Yeah, that's. I just think pitchers in general, I guess, too. I don't know. Again, I'm biased in this conversation, but pitchers in general just, I think, are really undervalued compared to the big hitters. Here's one that I think is great and exemplifies what I believe to be 80s nostalgia. So if you were a collector in the 80s, you knew that card right there. Jose Canseco. And this is actually going to be my pick for the night, okay? Not the PSA 10, so hold on for that. But I'll throw out a pick out there for anybody that's willing to listen. True, like Luca Tigers and Bronze style. We finally got to the point after a little bit of rambling. The PSA 9 Jose Canseco. Ready? All right, so 648 pop. PSA 10. Nobody. This is complete. I have no credibility left after this. But what? So this has been solid at 300 for the last year, and recently it's up to 640. I think this is legitimately a $600 card, especially when there's 648 of them. Again, institutional money, I don't know, but nostalgia is a son of a gun. And I'll tell you what, you can find these PSA 9s for dirt cheap. And pitching chickens. So I like, let's go look it up. PSA 9. I think you can get them for like $50. So you have here's where you have like the PSA 9 to 10, 170. There's one for 100. I didn't sort, filter. Bad habits. Lowest first. We're just going to buy it now. Make this simple to prove my point. But I think that genuinely, like, make sure you're getting the legit one with the dirty stash. So $80, buy it now. PSA 9. You saw the PSA 10 skyrocketing. losing all credibility, but that's my pick of the night. The PSA 9 Jose Canseco. Get him cheap. Get him for underneath $80. But that's it. Like I went and looked at the population, by the way, on PSA before I made that huge adventure into buying one of these for myself. Everybody wants that card. So other 80s cards that I think are very interesting right now. 1987 Topps Barry Bonds. So there's Topps Tiffany, and there's actually OPC too. So his true rookie, for all those haters, was 1986. Topps traded. So let's be all fair and look at that. That's going for $537. You see the action on Bonds. Again, baseball. This is in the last month. Last month, this card has gone up 2 to 3x. We'll call it 2x to be conservative. Okay? So money's moving into baseball. It's probably all that football money. Tiffany's insane. All right. But let's look at this one. Again, the affordable one. Pop 1300, y'all. And it's under $200. So holding steady. I think this card is killer. I think it's a beautiful card. It's like a color match Prizm, right? You know, you get that faded wood border with that ugly ass Pirates uniform. So for under $200, you can have a Barry Bonds rookie card. That's what I'm getting at. I think this is like that mass market card that everybody loves. It's gonna be there. And you know, the 86 is cool because it's his real rookie, but that's like getting a photoshopped uniform on Tua and Joe Burrow. Like, that just doesn't do it for me. I want that like swing shot. Now, the 89 Griffey, I'll eat crow on that, but I just don't see how that 87 Topps holds steady at that value when it's this one's sitting at 530. Nah. So that's a good one. And then like Bonds is easy. $199 or best offer. Yeah. I found oh god, what did I find the other day? I was doing some more digging. I had a really good, this was just like randomly sitting there, but the OPC version, that's another one, randomly sitting there in my card collection. I think it's a little diamond cut, to be honest, so I don't know if it'll do all that great, but the OPC stuff, like always, like for those folks, those are like the Canadian Topps from back then. Don't bother with the differentiation between OPC, in my opinion. Just stick to the Topps. Yeah, dude, A-Rod. Great lead. Let's take a look. So A-Rod's major rookie is like the second year of SP baseball. First year is Jeter. A-Rod's in 94. So there's a couple different varieties of it. There's a die cut version of it as well. Very difficult to grade because of this all foil. It was really like thin stock too. So contrary to like the cards Upper Deck makes today. The Upper Deck cards are like really, really nice. I wish they had other licenses. Pop 58. Whew. Really? Whoa. I didn't expect that. I no sales data. Oh, this is PSA 10. Yeah, this is the 10. So like Pop 58 is so low. Like A-Rod could own all of those himself. So we need to look a little lower down the food chain, but even the 9, so Pop 1500. I personally like A-Rod. I think he is part of the future of baseball, yeah, 50K legit. When that population's that low, there's just none of them. Just like the Jeter nines. The Jeter nines are insane right now. We'll look at that in a second, just because it's a cool look. So these are sitting at like 400 flat for the last 3 months. I think A-Rod is, yeah, it was a little higher. That's what I thought. I think he's really undervalued. I think, he's mixed up in the steroid era, but at a certain point, like, the people that are hating on the steroid era, God, here's another shred my credibility, but who cares? Like, the reality is that happened. People were taking little green pills and all sorts of uppers and other crazy shit and using pine tar. Like, it happened. Everybody was doing it. Let's move on. And like to say like Bonds and Clemens and these other dudes like don't belong in the Hall of Fame, like they were all doing it. Everybody was doing it, and I think that's like the shameful thing. And like actually Canseco said that in his book, where he's like, everybody was doing it, and anybody that wasn't doing it is lying to you, type of thing. And I'm sure there were clean people, but you get my point. It's like we all need to move on as like a sport, and this still I think really hurts baseball to this day. People are like, because baseball puts itself down, or I'm not sure what it is, but like there's that lingering thought where like basketball, football, like all these other sports have just climbed that ladder now and replaced baseball, where it used to be that preeminent sport. So hopefully we can get some folks like Theo Epstein and others that are caring more about it in the future here. Let's look at that Jeter quick, because I think it's really, this is such a not Pinnacle. Come on. 90 Leaf Thomas. Yes. Next. Let's do it. So even a 7 on this. Dang. Goes for 300. The 9. 8s go for 800. There's a spike there. Do they not even have a PSA 9? Yeah. Yeah, 16,000. Whoa. See, that, here's another like major baseball move. Read into what it is, but like that card doesn't move to double its value in 3 months. Pop 600 on the PSA 9. I don't even know if there's 10s, but that takes a lot of capital to move that card that far with a market cap of 9 million. So I think that's something that kind of like the picture I'm trying to paint of like, now this is post, it's Jeter, it's kind of like post junk wax, but we need to look back further into that junk wax era, because there's this movement, Griffey, Jeter, like who are the other greats that fall into that category from that like era preceding? So like Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken Jr., Canseco. I know that's kind of a funny pick, but like 1986 Donruss Canseco, I'm telling you, was such a nostalgic card that I think people are going to look at it. Let's look at Clemens. I'm fascinated by him. I don't particularly like Clemens. Oh, sorry. I was going to do a 90 Leaf Thomas. Yes. He doesn't get a first name. It's just the 90 Leaf Thomas. Wow. I think that's really, like, that's undervalued. I'm surprised that's not worth more. That's had to, no. Okay, yep. There's a lot of thoughts going through my head. I think this is a really interesting graph. 90 Leaf Thomas is super important. It was like the card that almost like knocked Griffey down a little bit, because Frank is such a beast. So as low as 168, sitting around 270, peak of 400. It's a nice trend line. Like if you paint that through, that's probably nice and true. But at 270, anything underneath 300 is a. That's such a hard card to get centered. Dude, yeah, we're going to. You know, I'm going to Kirby. You know, I'm going to Kirby. Kirby's my man. Yes, so we'll get to Kirby because Kirby's got a bunch of looks. But this is shocking on the Frank Thomas. I think that, I mean, again, not everybody's got the 300 to throw at a Frank Thomas rookie, but nostalgia, importance of the cards. I think these things, and again, look at the picture, the way it looks, like the red. Like, it's a beautiful piece of artwork. I'm going to bash my microphone. I think this is just an important card for any baseball card collector. I don't own one. I've got a few raw 90 Leaf Thomases, but I haven't gotten them graded yet, so fascinating. Again, not here to say to do anything, but just look at stuff, paint a picture. We want to look at, what do we have up next? 90 Leaf Thomas, yeah, Ryan Sandberg. So Sandberg's 83 tops, I believe it is. Another like gorgeous card. Look at that. Those are cool cards. The only problem when you get them a PSA holder, like, you can't smell them. 350 is the cheapest on eBay for Thomas. Not surprising. Not surprising. I'd go 3 on a Thomas. Sandberg. So these are pretty tough. Pop 639. Yeah. Again, centering is just so challenging on some of these older cards. It's not like getting Prizm, you know. That's a last 3 months on a Ryan Sandberg. So I'm guessing Tony, if we go look at Tony Gwynn, Ricky Henderson, like, all these guys are going to be, dang, Gwynn's at 2,600. Yeah, look at that. Wow, in the last 3 months. Really fascinating. Yeah, Henderson's rookie was at 81. Voice is going on me now. 80. Like, his 10 is like non-existent. 2009s. Even his 9 goes for 2,500. There we go. Sorry. Does a 10 even exist? Ricky Henderson. There we go. Oh, God. Wow. Pop 24. So, I get it. But, so you have this bookend of like 1980 tops, and even like the Gwynn, or like, what's a Ripken? I guess when the front end and the back end of the 80s are like these pillars, and then you have the middle that is just like forgotten about. Like, what's a Don Mattingly? Don Mattingly. Ripken up. This is 82 tops traded. $4 grand. Okay. So, now, I know Kirby Puckett is not a... He's not the Iron Man. He's only got his 85 tops. But, or his 85 donors, I'm sorry. But, $300 for a PSA 10, like, that card is impossible to grade. 1985 Donruss, like, no chance. It's black borders. It's so challenging. So, explain market cap to me. It's the pop times the value. So, 325 times 310 equals that 100,000 on the Kirby. I thought there'd be tops at least here, right? No? Come on, y'all. Boo. Boo card ladder. Oh. Gotta have some more Kirby Puckett than that card ladder. That's weak. Let's look at Clemens just for sanity's sake. 46. Yeah, 85 tops is horrendous too. I just... That's just not a thing. It's not. But people use it to compare... where I've seen that like market cap is in comparing like Luka to Zion, Luka to Kobe, Luka to LeBron, and that's fascinating when you look at like the like PSA 10 value of like the grades, and it's like why is there $14 trillion? Like the Luka one is the most just like, yeah, I'll show this because it's just obscene. Yeah, like there's $25 million in just the PSA 10. There's $25.6 million of Luka PSA 10 Prizms out there. Wow. Yeah. So that's where, I mean, that's, I don't know, sports cards in general, right? I think that's why we're here talking about it, because it's freaking amazing and how like big the hobby has become, and I think it's still at the tip of the iceberg because there's more people coming in. Not even more people coming in necessarily. So we're gonna do Roger. Who was another? It was 83, 82. Oh, Mattingly. Don Mattingly. I love the 1984 Donruss. Yeah, $4,000. Huge spike up. Not surprised. In the last 3 months. Crazy. Huh. Oh, wow. Big drop. So big drop in value right now from the 10s. That's something I'm kind of seeing, which is interesting. So you see the 10s of these 80s cards like way up there. Like somebody's snapping up 10s. Just doesn't matter what the price is. And the 9s are kind of lagging. So something to look at. I always find a lot of good value in 9s. Again, depends on what you're trying to accomplish, who you are as a buyer. But I think it's something to be considerate of when the 9 and yeah, the pop is higher, but like it's Donnie Baseball. Population 2,500. It's gonna be the more liquid of the two. You can always look at his tops too. I always go to the Donners just because that was the card back in the day, but now I suppose this tops. The Tiffany is gonna be ridiculous. Yeah. I don't think there's just a base tops in here. Chipper Desert Shield. I don't know if there's any Desert Shield in here. Nice. Pop 152. That's a higher population. Market cap of $200,000. Chipper, they don't have a 10. Even the 8? Dang. So this is what makes a Desert Shield, right? Like the little stamp here. Chipper Jones base. Look at that. Look at that young lad. Pop 5,500. They got sent to troops overseas. Really? Wow. Okay, so that's cool. Pop 150. Clemente, you want to do some like old school now. He won't be in card ladder though. Oh, he is. All right. This is a beautiful card. This is some old school now. I like to go middle of the road on stuff this old. Solid 5, pop 800, 3,200 bucks. You know, pop 5 is gonna get you a really nice copy of a 50s era card. And then, like, the gaps between, see, $1,000 gap between a 4 and a 5. That's what a 4 is gonna look like. Maybe a little fading. Gotta be a little more careful on those 4s. Does that answer your Clemente question? So the trouble is, like, now you can't even get these 2s down. I wouldn't go below a 2, but $2,000 entry point on a Clemente rookie. Now, the beauty of baseball is you don't have to go ham, right? So you can go, like, what was it, 50? Oh, it was 55. Oh. It was another good year, like a 1957 Topps Clemente. '57 Topps is kind of cool. I like the more action shots, though. If I'm gonna go vintage, that was 57. No. 56. Yeah, there we go. Even that 56 is crazy, though. 59 is okay, but yeah, see, it's just like the headshot. You gotta go to a 60? Jeez. That's pretty dope. So, you can get to like a 60, looking at a nice Clemente. That's pretty cool. That's totally like a 60s card, too. Enjoy that. Yeah. Getting like a 6, 5, that nice price range. 4. I want to look up, what is Bowman Clemente. Does he have a Bowman 55? Yeah, look at how sitting. No, he doesn't. Okay, that's fake. Oh, all right. I think we beat the vintage baseball a little bit to hell. But I think that's kind of where we're looking. Like, there's something going on in baseball right now. Definitely look at 80s guys. I think there's opportunities there, and like being there first. I think Kirby's huge. Just that, like, value wise, when I'm talking about, like, you can get a Kirby Puckett 9 for 30-40 bucks. I mean, you can't, you're not gonna like lose your shirt on something like that, and it's not gonna crash on you because he gets hurt. So that's just a card that's going to be forever in demand and have, in my opinion, good upside. So, dude, you don't want to look at Jackie Robinson. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. They had a poll recently, and people were talking about finding cards with low pop 10s. Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of them out there in that 80s era. We're missing a bunch of like 80s stars here. So just trying to paint the picture with the guys I knew were sitting out there in card ladder, but like go keep spinning that wheel and looking at it, because I think there's a lot to go there. By the 9. Oh yeah. I picking up what you're putting down there, Serbia. That's 1984 Fleer update. Those 9s, like 10s are like non-existent, but 84 Fleer updates got Clemens and Puckett both, and you can pick up a Puckett 9 for around $200 now. I don't think they're $200 cards. I think that's a good example of it, and that same thing can be replicated elsewhere as well. So, Jackie Robinson. So the 48 Leaf Jackie Robinson is one of the most in-demand cards out there right now. I'm gonna look at the one because I think you're gonna just lose it when you see. Like, this is a one. This thing could be like your dog could have eaten this, and it still sells for $5,000. Um, this is Jackie's rookie card though, and it is like, that's pure artwork. I can't imagine what it would be like to own. It's a beautiful card. Sorry, some of the stuff like leaves me speechless, and this is one of those cards where there's just so much. There you go. There's 40 of those PSA 8s. We're getting up there. 170K. What's a 9? And those are all real too. It's pretty cool. Baseline sale 174. They just don't, like, nobody's selling those. Those don't even come up for sale. That's why that 52 Manto went for like 5.2 million, because people just aren't going to see that card out for sale anymore. So, I was going to do some Starstock, but my voice is shredded, and we've been doing this for about an hour and 15 minutes. I want my stuff to load it in the Starstock, but let's just do a quick tour, because I think it's a super cool platform. I put $100 in. I think I had 110 because somebody used my code word, the magical sports card machine. Shout out to Bryce there. He used my code word, so I had $110 loaded in, and I think I'm doing okay. It's pretty fun just to play on here. I'm buying cards. I don't know if I have the right strategy because I sent a bunch in, and I'm trying to buy cards that like I wouldn't buy normally, and I'm a big like I want to hold my card type of guy, so it's hard for me to like go this route, but it's been a good experiment, you know. So yeah, I got like $20 sitting there. Here's what's sitting in the collection right now too, so just kind of some baseball stuff. Been poking around in like some bees, trying to find that. Did good with Cabrian. Buying low on some football stuff right now too. I don't know. Who knows? Tua didn't pan out, but maybe some Burrow did. So this is just a cool platform for trading sports cards, and I find it valuable for pricing, and like I think it's gonna be really fun come baseball season. So that's what I'm trying to prepare myself for. I sent a bunch of basketball stuff in that I'm gonna try to sell due to the hype of basketball, and keep rolling up. So we're about 2x, I guess, in like the short amount of time we've been playing around here. Like I say, just with a cash investment, which is pretty fun. But let's go explore some baseball, because I don't know. I'll be honest. I cracked a Tatis rookie the other day. I was like, yeah, I don't know. And I sent it in because I was looking at the Starstock A price is going for like over $100 on a Tatis Tops Series 2, and I'm like, yeah, fine. Here you go. This thing should Starstock A. So pretty cool. We'll take a look here at the old chart. This is what I want to get to. If you can't tell, I like a little bit of an analytical approach, but buy what you love. So, have a good mix. So the 10 leveled off a little bit now. Okay. Now this is just Starstock data, so it doesn't pull in eBay stuff. A little tricky there maybe. But from what I've seen, it's pretty accurate to eBay. It holds pretty true. So I'm going to pull those out of there. Let's pull that out. All right, so let's just look at the A's and B's here. Yeah, even a B is going for 45. Leveled off about 100, peaked about 130. Damn. That's Tatis. That's easy pickings, right? Like, we don't want to look at easy pickings. One of the things I like to look at for baseball right now is the most traded. Compare the A's to PSA 9s. Hell yeah, dude. So, you're absolutely right. The A's are sitting, the Starstock A sits in between the 9s and 10s right now. Well, closer to a 9 now, I think, than it used to. And that's holding true, I think, in basketball from what I saw, too. We'll look at some basketball real quick. Somebody random, Shea. He'll be a good, like, example. Somebody that's not, like, too hype right now. All right, it's just easier to not look at the graph. So, yeah, same here. 120, holding a premium over the 9. Sell your A, buy a 9, pocket profit. Yes, exactly. That's exactly. The Tatis I snapped was like an 8.5 SGC. Easily, like, I couldn't see anything wrong with it. So I think it's easily a 9. I think it'll be an A once we send it to Starstock. I think that's brilliant. Sell your A, buy a 9. Yeah. Like, what? Even on a good day, you're talking about 10s around, 40% gem rate. Huh. Let's go back to baseball. Most, don't look at new arrivals. That doesn't really matter. Latest sales is interesting to kind of scroll through, see what's moving. But I like the most traded. And in baseball right now, I think there's penny stocks. Sell your A, buy a 9. Dang. By the way, Dan, we can do weekly roundtable for sure. For sure. So if you look at the pools too, like, no way there's that many like A's 252, like, just percentage wise, if you can grade out of that, like you say, not guaranteed to get a 10 by any means. Dustin May, interesting. Vladdy, what's Vladdy doing? This isn't his that's not his, like, true rookie though, is it? Jesus Lizard. I'm interested in Vlad. So we got the 2019 Chrome. We got the Top Series 2. Why is the update selling for more than Series 2? It's weird. I don't know if I want to buy any Vlad. I just think he's an interesting thought experiment for the baseball card market at this point in time, because he's got a little bit of hype into him. I love Vlad's dad. I watched a lot of video on Vlad, Tatis, Soto, even Pete Alonso, and I'm not a giant Vlad guy. I want to like him because I absolutely love his dad. But, man, just getting these selected has got to be easier. There we go. A's and B's. So here's where, like, just the Starstock stuff, strictly speaking, I think a B play is interesting, where you've got B's sitting around 20% of the, less than 20% of the A value, but I don't trust that big spike. Yeah, he looks way better this year. Like, clearly laid off the In-N-Out burgers. And, you know, happy to see that. His dad was always such like a stringy, lean guy. Like, just interesting to see Vladdy Jr. so stout and stocky, but he'll do all right. He can hit the ball, like that's for sure. Jesus Lizard, this guy's a lights out lefty. I think his card's interesting from that penny play, right? Truly penny play. Look at that. 20 cents, 20 cents. Bees are moving now. Bees are moving. $1.60. Topped out at 2. That's cool. This guy's going to have a great year. I think he has a monster year for the A's. What else has been selling? Well, who's coming up this year still? So we've got Kellenic. I want to look at Kellenic. As you guys can see, by the way, both Card Ladder and Starstock, they're search engines. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you for that usability. It's so nice. Okay, so Kellenic's only got Bowman's right now. That's right, he doesn't have a Topps. So his Topps will be Series 1. Yeah. Bees. Dang. Those have got to have a big jump recently, yeah. But, okay, so solid 20. Bees at a 7, so it's like a 30 percentage. Bees aren't quite there yet. Yeah, those bees would have been a buy back there on the second. Paper for $19.99. I bet. Yeah. His chrome. Whoa! Really? Is that right? Its chrome is going for $125? I'm not done my homework as much on Kellenic. Huh. Now that's nice though. Like, well, for 45. Son of a guns. 1025. I was gonna say I'd buy that for $10, but there's none listed. Whoop. Whoop. Holy cow. So there's some hype there, huh? PSA 10 refractors for like $195. Interesting. He's a stud? Okay. When they're hyping him more than Julio Rodriguez, that's really interesting because Julio's got one of those like pure swings, solid base hitter. Like I kind of threw Kellenic in the Alex Kirilloff box of like gonna be a good hitter, sure, type of guys. So I honestly I'll have to go look at him more. Big on Adley. He'll be up this year. Base. Bowman Chrome. You saw I had a few Adleys. What's his A doing? Yeah, his A was just like going through the roof. J-Rod's got one more year. Yeah. He'll probably be up though September. J-Rod will be. I think he's just gonna mash. Yeah, Kellenic, J-Rod. You guys need pitching though. Hard to get pitching in the Pacific Northwest. So What else we got? Is there any music? I need music playing in the background, just so like my brain doesn't have music playing out loud, I suppose. There we go. All right. Now we can keep rolling now. Brain will keep working. Aquino, are people really buying him again? I can't get behind Aquino. He looked so bad last year. Penny stocks, penny stocks. Yeah. I guess that's maybe like that's a kind of a problem with baseball too. Of like, I just need some like good. It's like 42. We just need some like good hype video. Like basketball, I feel like you can just like go out and like chew up that information and like get that downloaded. Like baseball, you've got to watch so much to really see how they perform. It makes it challenging. It's not a complaint by any means, but it's just like this guy, like Dustin May. Here we go. Credibility shredding number 32 of the night, but this guy is going to win a Cy Young someday if his ulnar collateral ligament, yeah, I said that, holds up. This dude will dominate. Yeah. The copyrights on baseball, that's the first thing they need to do. It's just like, get rid of that. It's so dumb. Like how does like Pitching Ninja get away with his stuff then? Like Pitching Ninja, Rob Friedman, I'm gonna get him on the podcast someday soon. Like that guy's amazing. Look up his channel on YouTube because like the highlights and the videos of the pitching going on, like Dustin May, his sinker, 99-mile-an-hour sinker moves 2.5 feet laterally. It's like Kevin Brown, another former Dodgers pitcher, but like even dirtier. Brown's had this downward movement, but Dustin May throws like a true screwball, like with this like hard lateral movement. He's like your worst nightmare, and he's got such a weird like whip action too. No way. Like this dude is going to win a Cy Young, like I say, if his arm holds up, and it should. I think he doesn't have like a. There's not a lot of funkiness going on there, so I think his arm he'll do good. Really exciting young pitching prospect, and like they should have that dude like drinking milk or like doing something like with that carrot top. That guy should be all over just throwing sinks. I don't care. Like, it's so annoying that I finally saw a Tatis commercial, but like we got Aaron Rodgers doing discount double check, but we don't get to see Clayton Kershaw and all these other guys from baseball. I just really eats at me because I think there's so much talent there that deserves better. From the sport, it's like it's not their fault, but from the sport, you know. Jordan's interesting this year. I bet you people are buying Jordan like mad. I hope he's okay. I haven't heard a lot. Boom. Select out of all these. Just get into A's, B's, and C's. That's probably fair. Big pickup here. Like we've seen in all the baseball graphs recently, right? But yeah, Rob Manfred is toxic, and I'll give him a compliment that he hired Theo Epstein, but I really think they're like guys like A-Rod. Honestly, I know that sounds weird because we talked about before he did some steroids and performance enhancement, but they need to get guys like A-Rod, just stuff where like they don't let like Pete Rose, just the whole like good old boy scenario about baseball just really bothers me. They need to wholesale replace, frankly, a lot of the owners. I don't know. Get some better owners in place. Seeing the Mets sold was awesome, but that needs to happen with a lot more folks too. So it's a goal. Own a baseball team someday. I don't care if it's the St. Paul Saints. We can do it. We can do it. We'll own a baseball team someday. That'll be a something we aim for, right? Gary Vee wants to own the Jets. We own the St. Paul Saints. For anybody who doesn't know, the St. Paul Saints are a fantastic team here in the Twin Cities, and like Bill Veeck, but people Mike Veeck, and then Bill Murray actually owns part of the team as well. And so they have a pig that brings baseballs out. It's the best baseball. The team's not great, like it's like low A amateur league baseball, but like it's so fun to go there. They got a craft beer corner, amazing food. It's in Lower Town, St. Paul. They got a new stadium a couple years back. I cannot wait. This summer, hopefully, they allow that. Starstock A 378. Back to the matter at hand. I'm just like scrolling around. Do this for hours. I do it for hours. What we got here? God, that's kind of erratic, right? So looking at like 12, I guess, for Raw. Why? What's his 10 going for? There's no 10s on here, really. Let's see over. Kyle Lewis. I got to imagine there's more like in the backlog at PSA, but that seems really crazy low. Dan has personally submitted many Kyle Lewises to PSA to increase the population number. Deservedly so, I mean. But let's we can compare him to Robert, I think, first of all. So we're looking at tops. So he's half price of Robert. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he win Rookie of the Year? Sabermetrics say he's bad at baseball. Yeah. Sabermetrics don't tell us everything. This is coming from a statistics person, but who else we got? We got Bo Bichette. Here's another guy throwing 117. People are buying Bo. People are Bo crazy. Why? 4,000. Really? Okay. That's pretty bizarre, actually. So there just must have been like a ton of people that submitted Bo and Lewis Robert, but for that's really weird. I don't understand those numbers. Why? Oh God. They have Project 2020 in here? Yeah. $5,500 on Jordan. Really weird. Now the value's a little bit lower. Oh, that came up, yeah. Yeah, no way that should have been a $35 card. God, that's a steal at like 35, 36. Oof. I would have liked that. Yeah. What was I want to look at Vlad. Vladdy. There we go. 188. 3,500 pop. Ooh. Some aggressive climb on Vlad. Huh. Somebody's a believer. Somebody's a believer. All right, we gotta do the triumvirate. I'm not doing chrome. I'm just doing base chrome. All right, I'm just do this and go back into the 10. PSA 10. All right, so we'll round it out with the Soto 278 sitting at 15,000. Woo! So that's probably leveled out now. This is kind of what I said. I thought it was going to level out like heading into the season now. Just kind of sit here and then be performance based. But again, steep climb. Was sitting around 150. I think good 160. Okay. Let's look at Acuna. Not bat down, but you know, not bat down. Not bat down. Someday bat down. At bat in blue. 200 on the Acuna. So that kind of fizzled too. Went from like 120, 130 to 200. Probably plateauing there. And then let's do I want to look at I lied. We're going to look at one more after this too. We're going to look at Pop 10,000. This one will probably sit 250 going into the season. Yeah, 250. Yeah, it looks like where it's going to level out. Very interesting. I still think Acuna is undervalued amongst the three there, but we'll see. We'll see. Let the performance speak for themselves. We want to do one more, and that was Pete Alonso. I'm just really intrigued because these got so cheap. He was down to like $30. It was way up there. Let's zoom out on 1 year. Yeah. So this is like the $80 card a year ago. Okay, so there's been some climb up. $30 going for 50. I'll still say that I've watched video on all of these guys, hours of video, as much as you can watch in baseball. And the way the ball comes off Pete Alonso's bat. Now, this is like barring he can make contact. That guy is a monster. Like the opposite field home runs he's capable of hitting, the strength, the sound, the quality of striking the ball. Pete Alonso's got something to prove this year. It'll be interesting to see when he's got other people in the lineup like Lindor to like protect him and people have to pitch to him differently. Just how good of a year he has. So yeah, it's Pete Alonso. I mean, 11,000 of the tops out there, but I just think he's got a year to recover from his quite god awful 2020. So yeah, good to be back. Good to be back at the card table. This is what we do on the live streams. We just kind of hang out, talk cards, shoot the shit. We can do this every day if we want to. We don't know what's going to happen in life. Certainly life is going to throw us some curveballs here and there. So thanks for coming back and hanging out after like a month hiatus. We got the podcast roiling and boiling now too. I'm going to do a solo podcast coming up here because I think I have a lot more to explain about like the card table and what I want to do with it, where I want to go from here. We want to introduce the card kata. So that's going to be pretty exciting to talk about that. Really just democratizing the learning for sports cards and trying to show that like anybody can do this stuff. show the recipe, right? And so that's what we try to do here, just hanging out at the card table. But with the podcast, we're talking to some amazing people, like Dan Serbia from Serbia Sports Cards. We had John Newman from Sports Card Nation on. I'm just incredibly blessed and grateful that really anybody would talk to me, but to have like people that I really esteem and follow and look up to and like appreciate all the knowledge and learning and sharing that with me and other people, that just I can't speak the amount of gratitude that I have. So that's coming at the card table. And then I think there's more vision behind this thing that I want to get into sometime, and so that's what I want to try to do on the next podcast, is just kind of lay that all out, and probably sound like a crazy person, but I just getting back in after 20 years and like going through all my old cards. I'm still finding just insane stuff buried away. Like I got to grade all these things and work through all of it, and there's a closet over there, and we got memorabilia to go through. It just feels really, really good, and I want to get back with that good. I want to share the value and like stories from people. That's what the Card Table Podcast is all about. Stories, learnings, and joy of sports cards. I want to share that with so many other people. And then like give back. So I've got to like get things moving. You know, we got like a bunch of submissions in at PSA, but like once that happens, it's going to be, you know, investing into my kids' future, and then getting into business, you know. So that's what I want to talk more about, what kind of businesses we want to get into. That sounds pretty ludicrous to say, but like I really mean that. You know, we want to get into a little bit of like sports, athlete development. I want to get into, well, sports cards, a little sports card shop, little coffee and collectibles, whatever we want to call it here in the Minnesota area. I think there's a lot of room in that after the COVID happens, and we want to have the card table going out to breweries, right? Like we drink the craft beer, so like find the card table at your local brewery this summer. That's something we're going to be making happen for sure. Once we get past COVID and all the chaos that's caused for us all, it just feels so good to be back in the sports card hobby and talking to so many other people and sharing the joy and learnings that I think that it can really bring. Like I was talking about at the outset with my 6-year-old, my 4-year-old daughter. That's why we got thirdgencards.com, you know, just sharing the learnings with another generation. So I guess I'll kind of stop rambling, because this is where I like get a little clammy and like just open about like just I hope I can purvey that and bring other people to talk more about sports cards, and grow the hobby in general, because I think it's such a wonderful thing, and honestly it's helped save me in a lot of ways. So I owe that back, and just want to pay it forward for everybody that's helped me get here. So thank you for hanging out at the card table. Sorry for like the heartfelt ending to everything, but it's just been a fantastic night, and it feels so good just to be back doing the damn thing and sharing the joy and learnings of sports cards with so many other people. So we'll see you next time at the card table. I hope the YouTube is still running. Who knows? We'll see how that all worked. And thanks for everybody hanging out in the chat. We'll be back doing this more often, and just peace, love, happiness. We'll see you next time at the card table. It's been great. Thanks.